Welcome back to the Bigfooters podcast.
Welcome back to the Godzilla Fan Club podcast.
Welcome back to the Rollovers podcast. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm referencing there. I just...
Welcome back to the Agent Argylle podcast.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back to the Agent Argylle podcast.
We're the real Agent Argylle.
No, I'm Radio Rebel.
Welcome back to the only podcast on the internet where we don't talk about anything important.
Yeah, nothing of importance is discussed in this episode. We got a chill episode for you this week. A chill vibe.
Such a chill episode.
By the time
that y'all can fall asleep to or do homework to or something, because we know that's what you do.
Due to our insanely nonsensical upload schedule, we are recording this the night before the 2024 Grammy Awards, which means that you will be listening to our Grammy takes 2 weeks after they happen.
Alternatively, we can just record like a bonus episode for the Grammys.
Oh, that's a great idea. Let's record before this episode comes out. You will have heard our thoughts about the Grammys and whether or not Taylor Swift should have won Album of the Year or not.
Oh my god!
You know what? Actually, let's make it a contingent on whether or not Taylor wins an award. If she doesn't win an award, we won't talk about it at all. How does that sound?
She probably will. The Grammys love her. Even in like one of the weakest years for her in recent memory.
Yeah. Which is weird because I feel like Midnight...
Recent memory being just this decade.
Midnight's is like a week album cycle for her, but I feel like her chances of winning it aren't like any lower than they have been.
Yeah, it's also that 1989 was one of her weaker re-recordings.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I feel like
just mixing wise, because you can't go wrong with the track list from original apart from Bad Blood.
I agree. I liked the vault tracks more than Speak Now, but
it's very on the fence about both vault track compilations.
None of them
I feel like she's kind of running out of vault tracks, which I don't blame her.
That's true. None of them really hold a candle to how fire the vault tracks for Red were.
For Red.
Yeah, they were so good. Like,
yeah,
nothing.
We're in agreement.
A Message in a Bottle.
All too well 10-minute version.
All 10-minute version is like one of the greatest songs of all time.
It was kind of like the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I wish she had registered Red Taylor's version for Album of the Year. I feel like that could have.
No, seriously,
I feel like
could have.
That definitely deserved to win for that year.
Like, I don't know if re-recordings are eligible, but
I think they are eligible. She just doesn't. She just doesn't submit them. Is the thing.
Yeah, I guess she doesn't want to double dip.
Yeah, she doesn't want to double dip, and it's kind of
like which is respectable.
Yeah, I mean, she's trying to get over. To some extent, you know, she like is taking advantage of this like whole thing, but you know, it's been kind of a long process at this point. So, I want to say that at some point, to some extent, she wants to just have it get in, get out, so that she can move on.
Yeah, just in the studio, out of the studio.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, don't relive past events for too long.
Definitely. Which is something I should take up in my own life. I feel like
yeah.
I feel like I'm constantly.
We could all learn about that.
We could all learn about that. Let the past die, as Kylo Ren uncontroversially said that one time. No one got mad when he said that.
Yeah, famously uncontroversial movie.
Uncontroversial movie, The Last Jedi.
What a dumb fucking movie to be mad over.
Speaking of which, you know what's crazy? I can't believe. Listen, actually, I'll say it. Okay, I have a hot take. Okay.
All right.
Hot take. The Last Jedi is, if we're comparing Star Wars movies to Taylor Swift albums, So, The Last Jedi has to be the reputation of Star Wars
Oh,
movies.
that's no. See, I maybe chronologically I see it, but quality I think it's. I like The Last Jedi.
No, you're right. It's got to be. It's got to be. I don't like The Last Jedi. We don't need to dig into that argument because
Yeah,
I'm tired of it.
it's so meaningless trying to discuss that movie.
It's overdone. But no, actually, it would have to be Rise of Skywalker, wouldn't it? In terms of like quality.
Chronologically, I wouldn't say that, but in terms of quality, yeah.
How many Taylor Swift albums are there? There's like 9, 10.
Okay, so there's debut.
There's Dave. Wait.
Your list.
We can write.
Speak Now. Red. 1989.
Debut.
Reputation. Lover. Folklore. Evermore. Midnights. That's 10.
10. Okay, there's like 11 Star Wars movies.
Not including re-recordings.
Not including.
I am not fucking re-recordings.
Yeah. So if we follow the chronology, line it up, this would mean that Fearless is The Empire Strikes Back, which maybe there's a good argument for.
That is a crazy argument.
That actually makes sense because then that puts Speak Now at Return of the Jedi. Ooh, but that then that puts Red at Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace, which does not work. And then that puts... No, because that puts 1989 at Attack of the Clones.
And then Reputation as Revenge of the Sith.
Which, like, vibes-wise, not too far off, I guess.
Oh,
but
yeah. Because, like, you got Anakin's emo,
the difference is Revenge of the Sith riffs.
Revenge of the Sith does rip.
Kind of cheesy, but very fucking good movie.
No, I love Revenge of the Sith.
I won't be convinced to I won't be convinced to hate it.
So then, are we saying that Folklore is The Force Awakens, and the last...
Folklore. No, because that'd be Lover.
Lover is Force Awakens. Folklore.
Okay, would this make Folklore Rogue One?
Ooh, that's a good. Maybe. I don't hate that. I like that.
I don't think Rogue One holds a candle to the original trilogy, but it is better than like most of the sequels.
I agree to an extent that Rogue One, it may not be as good as the original trilogy. It's kind of low-key my favorite anyway, just in terms of like, when the movie came out and like...
He said this.
Yeah, and like just the connection that I have with that movie, in terms of whatever. Like that literally was my Star Wars as an 11-year-old. But
genuinely, like the only piece of Star Wars media since The Force Awakens to introduce new characters as main characters,
and then kills them, and then just let them die. It's
just fucking hardcore. Kills them, which is so fucking funny.
It's so good. Low-key,
it makes so much sense.
Yeah, low-key more radical than The Last Jedi. I'll say it.
I mean, nobody's gonna argue with that.
They're not gonna.
The Last Jedi is in the spirit of Star Wars.
It's true.
But like, bro, like Star Wars bros just don't want to admit that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some moments in The Last Jedi I just don't think really works. I hate the casino.
Yeah, I don't fuck with everything.
I think this
I don't fuck with everything, but I think the things it does well.
The way they wrote the Holdo character and her interactions with Poe just pissed me off.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, but whatever.
But yeah, it's chill.
It's chill.
So what does that make The Rise of Skywalker?
That makes The Rise
of...
So that makes Rise of Skywalker Midnight.
Midnight, and that would make that would make The Last Jedi Evermore.
Oh, hell.
Which makes sense.
It makes sense if you think...
It makes sense.
It kind of makes...
Because the normies fucking hate... I wouldn't say the normies hate Evermore, but, like, they're like, well, it's just Folklore Part 2. Which is, like, not true.
It's not
but...
true at all. I mean, Evermore is way better than Folklore, I think. But,
I think it's way better, but it does everything that Folklore does, but does it, like, better.
Listen, I'll admit that here's the one thing I'll concede. There is a specific sect of Star Wars fan. I kind of hate that The Last Jedi is their favorite movie in the Star Wars franchise.
That's true.
I'll admit that I am that guy in the Taylor Swift fandom. Like the same kind of like the people
we're the weirdo outsiders.
The weirdo outsider. He's like, oh yeah, Evermore is the best Taylor Swift album.
He's like, this is peak Taylor Swift.
And I'm okay if the hardcore Swifties don't agree with me, but get your sensitive ass back to the Swiftie podcast. Okay, this is the goddamn Swifter podcast.
True. We run things different.
We run a little different here. It's a Swifter podcast.
Alright, so now that we rambled for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, shout out.
How are we doing?
I'm doing good. Kinda. I feel like I'm kind of behind on some schoolwork that I gotta do. But I'm feeling really tired also. And I need to rehearse. I need to practice a bunch because I sing for my class, in front of my class on Thursday. But otherwise, I say I'm feeling fairly good. I went to a show.
Wait, what are you singing?
Avukella. It's an Italian piece.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But I went to a show on last Thursday. It was like a bluegrass folk punk kind of thing. It was 3 guys. It was Lightning Luke in conjunction with Coleman Williams, who is the 4th generation of the Hank Williams dynasty. And then it was Clyde McGee, who is he's like a guy who's in another band with Lightning Luke, and they kind of ripped low key. They were really good. It was like a 3-hour show, but it was like this small kind of club, but it was really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I recommend looking up Lightning Luke, especially. He was probably my favorite performer on the bill.
Yeah, I'd like to get into smaller artists eventually. It's just I'm a little burnout on binging a lot of music lately, so.
Oh yeah. I didn't know any of these guys before I showed up to the show.
Like that's cool though. I like doing that sometimes. Yeah, you just like you're like, I'll give it a little shot because, cool to go see like a little small band.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm kind of still in shell shock because I had an AP Human Geography test that on the multiple choice I bombed it.
Oh no.
Fully admitting because it was like 60. It was really bad.
Oh wow.
The free response section might be better, but y'all don't fucking care about that. So we had it, and then next class I had a calc midterm. Let me tell you, calc is the bane of my existence.
Oh yeah? Yeah.
I fucking hate calculus.
Fuck calculus.
I will never take a math course again if I don't have to.
It's literally the worst. I literally just didn't even bother.
It's torture.
I didn't even bother taking the AP test when I was in high school. But I think I said that. I said that on a episode.
Oh no, it wasn't the AP test. It was just like a class test.
Yeah, that makes sense.
On the unit, so. And it fucking sucked because I like history, and I thought I knew what I was going. But you know what I hate? I hate teachers and professors, like educators that like give you a review, and then like half the test questions are like nothing like the review.
Oh, I hate when they do that.
Oh, horrible.
Yeah.
And it's so unnecessary because, like, why would you give a review if only like 5% of it's relevant?
Well, I think in their minds it's like kind of like it's supposed to
like challenging the student.
Well, it's supposed
you know, you won't be prepared in the real world.
Well, it's supposed to prepare you for like you know, the kind of way that the questions are asked or whatever. Like you're supposed to apply like the general thought processes, but usually that it doesn't translate.
Yeah, I think it's especially shitty for like history and English, where like math, there is a correct answer. There is a correct answer.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the answer, you don't have the answer. Mm-hmm. For like things like history and English, if it's like not specific details, it's just making an inference based on the things provided to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless it's like defining a term or something.
Yeah. If it's like definition
or like a specific statistic.
Well, I think in history, there's like facts, and then there's like
there's like dates,
and then there's like interpretation.
People.
And so,
especially with human geography. So human geography is a lot more conceptual than like chronological history. Mm-hmm. You know,
mm-hmm.
It's more concepts of how things came to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, senioritis aside, I'm trying to get some writing done.
What you've been writing? Have you been any process on Stamos and Statham?
Unfortunately, no. That'll have to be shelves.
Episode 7 callback. God, this is episode 9. What are we gonna do? Yeah. What are we gonna do for episode 10? God. Oh my god.
I know, it's not that big of a milestone.
It's 10 episodes, Jenna. We're 10 episodes deep, almost into the Swifter podcast.
This is more commitment than we've ever given to anything.
I've literally been dying working on this podcast. Okay.
But I've been working on conceptualizing like a mini series. I've talked about it, but
oh, I think you have.
It's I'm trying
the Survivor thing.
Survivor type thing, yeah. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to get further on this book I've been writing for like 3 years. And it's changed a lot. It's like morphed over the years.
That makes sense.
The backbone's always been there, so I just have writer's block right now.
Well, I hope you can get over the writer's block.
Yeah, I'm trying. Also, foreshadowing for a future episode, I'm compiling together my picks for the Oscars. Like if I was picking the nominees and winners.
Nice. Hopefully you'll give Greta Gerwig the director nominee, like she deserves.
Y'all gonna be disappointed.
Can't believe the Swifter podcast is anti-Greta Gerwig all of a sudden.
No, we love Greta Gerwig. So when that's finished, which, like, cross my fingers, should be before the Oscars. If it's not, I'll just present what I have. But it will be at least like a week or two before the Oscars.
Okay.
So look out for that.
Look out for that.
All right, what do we got on the ledger?
We want to talk about Argylle.
Yeah. Who's the real Agent Argylle?
Who is the real Agent Argylle? Is the big question that I'm not going to have any answers to because I'm not going to watch that goddamn movie.
the big question that nobody can answer because nobody wants to see the fucking movie.
No one wants to see the movie.
Matthew Vaughn fell off so hard.
Matthew Vaughn fell off. I don't know if he was ever completely on.
He was never completely on, but he could cook sometimes.
Sometimes. I think even
he stopped cooking.
Even a movie like Kick-Ass, I feel like it represents, some good instincts, but it doesn't fully coalesce into a complete thing that is like fully without problems or whatever.
I think the first Kingsman is a very good action movie. It's not perfect, but like the church scene, he definitely cooks.
See, whenever I see, maybe it's just the Twitter compression and bitrate, but whenever I see that scene on Twitter, like I just look at it. It kind of looks like choppy AI garbage. I can't lie. But maybe that's.
Oh no, you got to be here. No, because that scene more works when you're like dialed into the movie.
Okay, I'll watch Kingsman: The Secret Service on my OLED laptop television screen.
The sound design definitely helps, and also the plot kind of makes it more obvious what's happening.
Mm-hmm. One thing though I noticed when watching, so I haven't seen The Secret Service. I have seen The Golden Circle.
Yeah, this is funny because one time you were calling Kingsman mid, and I was like, no, that movie's actually pretty good, and I was like, which Kingsman are you talking about? Come to find out, you've only watched the sequel, which makes no sense. No goddamn sense.
I was at a party, and I hadn't seen the first one, but everyone wanted to watch the second one, so we just watched the second one.
Why would they want to watch the second one over the first one?
Well, because they all hung out without me previously, where they watched the first one, and it was a lot of the same people, so they were like, hey, we're going to watch the second one. And I wasn't going to protest because I didn't care. But actually, I think in that conversation, I think I was referring to The Secret Circle, which is like a
secret third movie.
A secret third movie, as opposed to the actual third movie that exists.
The Kingsman does not exist for what it's worth for me. That movie is like not real.
I think my problem with so the Golden Circle has tons of problems, strictly speaking. One of them I feel like is kind of rooted in the style, like the whole shtick of the movie, though, is because for me, I feel like the action, the way they shoot the action, is so like completely different from the way they shoot like the rest of the movie that like it's actually like it actually takes me out of the movie. Like I actually like it breaks immersion for me because it's like we have like a standard movie. They're doing a lot of like like waist high shots, and it's like reverse shot, whatever. Not really creative direction at all. And then it gets into like the action, and it's like this super wacky sort of thing. And it especially doesn't work in the sequel because there are long stretches of movie with zero action scenes, which is like okay.
See, and that's why it doesn't cook. Yeah, the first one has action. Like the first one has a lot of set pieces.
Yeah, I mean that's why you watch an action scene, right? That's why Mission Impossible are some of the best because the set pieces are like just what happens in the movie. Like it's just the set pieces. Those movies are so good.
Admission, I haven't seen Mission Impossible.
You haven't seen Mission Impossible?
I just have some blind spots. I can't get to everything.
That's fair. I think they're pretty good. I mean, you can watch. I haven't seen all of them. I've seen a lot of the newer ones. I don't really.
I'll be fair. Every person I've seen binge the Mission Impossible ends up loving them. So.
Well, they're good. So, it's an important factor.
No, like full-on cruise heads.
Yeah, I'm a big cruise head, so I of course love.
Big cruiser.
I'm a big cruiser, so I enjoy them on principle. But no, Fallout is.
Why don't Tom Cruise fans call themselves cruisers?
I think they're too old for all of that. Like
you haven't seen film Twitter.
Are you asking why don't they call themselves cruisers?
No, cruisers, yeah.
I feel like, but I feel like the general vibe is like Tom Cruise is kind of like he's like the Queens of the Stone Age equivalent of movies, right? Like, Queens of the Stone Age have like some younger fans, but generally speaking, the people who go rabid for Tom Cruise like are either older or like they pretend to want to be older. So it's like they don't have like the exact same sort of like Zoomer millennial kind of like rabbit energy about him, right? It's like
that makes Schwarzenegger Death Cab for Cutie.
Yeah, like Death Cab for Cutie, like Counting Crows, like anything from like any holdovers from the 90s that like are still around, still
oh my God,
still making stuff. It's just that sort of thing, like very.
This entire episode is built off anecdotes.
It's the Anecdoters podcast.
The Anecdotes podcast. We got very off track.
Did we? Oh, we were talking about Tom Cruise. We were talking about Argylle. I don't care. We were set up for failure because Argylle is such a not uninteresting thing.
So Argylle is based off a book that was not published until like very close to the movie actually releasing.
Yeah, based off of in quotation marks.
First time author, allegedly.
Alleged first time author.
We'll get to that. The book apparently not that very. It's apparently not very good.
Mm-hmm. Shocking.
And the movie adaptation, Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell, and Dua Lipa, right? All these celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
$200 million budget for a movie that had not released, and from a first-time author. And the movie is meta because the author is a character in the movie.
Yeah. Which is it's the whole twist. Like, it's not actually a $200 million movie based off of a book from a first-time author. Like, the book and the movie were comprised at the same fucking time.
It's a marketing stunt.
It's a publicity stunt. It's guerrilla marketing. It's like the book is an in-universe artifact. Why aren't people talking about that? Why do we think the book was written by Taylor Swift, guys?
Yeah. So Taylor's part of the Taylor Swift news. There's a group of Swifties who think that Taylor Swift wrote Argylle. By the way, why would you want your favorite to write such a mid book?
It doesn't make any sense, frankly.
Okay. Yeah, obviously it doesn't make any sense. How would it make sense? Another theory, it's J.K. Rowling.
It's not J.K. Rowling.
I don't fully believe this.
There's no way.
But I will say there's more going for it than the other. Because the author in the movie is a redhead middle-aged woman. Why? Of course, it would make sense for them to have it published under a pseudonym, given her reputation currently.
But the problem is that the pseudonym for the book is like it's like it's supposed to be written by the character, right? Like the problem is with J.K. Rowling, like she does use pen names sometimes, but for like a massive property like this, if she was launching a brand new book movie property, don't you think she would be a little more transparent about all of that? Like, why would J.K. Rowling, of all people, not crave attention, right? Like, why would she take a back seat to this sort of like meta in universe, like guerrilla marketing kind of thing, and not be like, hey guys, I'm J.K. Rowling and I'm doing this thing?
Yeah. Okay, so actually, I looked up yesterday. It got revealed who it was.
Wait.
It's not Taylor Swift. It's not J.K. Rowling. Ellie Conway. Weird doesn't roll off the tongue name.
Ellie Conway.
In fact, two people: Australian novelist and screenwriter Terry Hayes, and British author of psychological thrillers Tammy Cohen. Now they have a picture of Tammy Cohen. Now I need to know who these people are. Oh my God! Wait, the guy wrote 2 Mad Max movies.
Interesting.
That's weird.
Which ones?
2 and 3.
Okay.
Why couldn't he cook like that for this?
That's a good question. Probably because they weren't putting that much thought or energy
into it. I'll be so real. Mad Max 2 cooks, but Mad Max 3 is mid.
Interesting. I haven't seen them, the old ones or the new ones actually.
Yeah, that's about it. Anyway, Henry Cavill's hair in that movie looks really fucking bad.
The hair for Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Wait.
And also, shout out to everybody that will no longer be terrorized by the trailer for this movie.
Oh yes, shout out to them. They deserved it for supporting the local theaters.
Putting foot through it.
So often, getting.
What is this hairline? Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, this is awful. Why does he look like?
I don't know if this is an intentional choice. If it isn't.
It's very unflattering.
But it's more embarrassing if it isn't.
It's very unflattering to his forehead, I feel like.
Especially when they have Dua Lipa looking that good.
Oh, well, I mean, gosh. I mean, just put a camera on Dua Lipa at any point in time. She'll outserve anyone. Right. She'll outserve anyone next to her. But speaking of Henry Cavill, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Why they look naked in this, though? That is...
Wait, what? Sent?
No,
can I get a source on that?
No, it's just from the top. But it's like Argylle new trailer. I don't know if this channel is real. I'm gonna be so real. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah. Don't go see Argylle. Don't. Let it bomb.
Let it bomb.
Let studios fail.
Yeah, let it die. Let it fail.
Speaking of greedy corporations.
Speaking of
Universal Music Group took all their musicians, all their artists' music off TikTok.
Oh, I did know that.
Yeah. So now they have beef.
Yeah.
Which is like the most boring corporate beef of all time.
Yeah, I don't know how
UMG being like, you should pay our artists better, but like if you want your artists paid better, just take all of their music off of the streaming services. Because that would make an actual difference, but clearly it's just like trying to strengthen their goal. Not that TikTok's in their right. They should pay people better, but...
Yeah, I think the problem is that obviously UMG's criticism of TikTok is somewhat valid. The numbers and the payment, it doesn't all add up. But that being said, I don't trust UMG's motives to be entirely pure and altruistic. No one's a hero at the moment.
Yeah, just hope the artists get paid better. Yeah. And it sucks because TikTok is like a huge source of promotion for the smaller artists.
To some extent,
so
yeah.
By doing this, they're kind of hurting their artists.
Yeah, they're hurting.
Because they earn so much more money from streaming services like Spotify than TikTok.
Yeah, I mean at the moment they for sure are. But I think part of their argument is that TikTok is a good promotional tool, but to some extent it also exists as its own sort of isolated platform. Like I think I've heard like Hank Green or whoever talk about the fact that TikTok is very inefficient at like getting people to transfer attention over from TikTok to another platform. I think aside from like mega smashes and like huge ubiquitous moments on the platform, like
Hank Green actually said that TikTok paid him to post more of his educational content on TikTok.
Yeah. And so if we're talking TikTok just as a promotional tool, then it doesn't particularly matter like to what extent TikTok's payout is. But the problem is that if we're talking about TikTok as its own sort of platform, if UMG has a bunch of songs that are getting tons of traction and energy on TikTok, but that's not transferring over to like streams or sales or other more traditional counterable forms of radio success, then it is kind of valid to the extent, okay, then if this is going to be the place, then we're going to need, you to pay up, because there's because it's not worth it for us to have it on here if it's not fulfilling its own purpose.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just weird. I so yesterday for us, it'll be a week, I think, when this comes out. But how on the Today Show, the morning talk show, they had Elmo on, and Elmo's father,
yes,
Muppet, the Muppeteers,
yes,
and out of fucking nowhere, Larry David gives Elmo the fucking iron claw.
He should have killed Elmo. He should have killed Elmo right then and there.
It's so crazy.
I would have celebrated Elmo's death on national television.
Yeah.
What's funny is that this comes right after the whole spiel with Elmo, where Elmo's like, "Hey, just checking in. I wonder how's everyone's doing," and then like thousands of people like endlessly trauma dump Elmo.
Yeah. Bad weekend for Elmo.
Bad weekend for Elmo. He has tons of exposure to the horrors of the world. He gets attacked by Larry David.
Damn, he's going through it.
He's going through it.
But it's so wild on Twitter, the ass backwards takes people are having about this interaction.
Oh, it's so funny.
People are like, "Oh, fuck Larry David. Like, oh, I feel bad for the Muppeteers." And guys, it's Larry David.
It's Elmo.
Like, my mom put it away that I could not put it better. He's professionally unprofessional.
Oh yeah, like that's his whole.
That is Larry David.
Like Elmo is supposed to be a curious, lovable child. Larry David is supposed to kill the child. That's their roles in society. If Larry David
does things that should not be socially acceptable.
Exactly.
And that's his whole thing.
It's his whole thing. He Larry
got
David,
a whole show about it.
He literally
like 8 seasons, like 10. I don't know.
A billion seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and we don't expect Larry David to take the iron claw to Elmo. Can we please be a normal society with actual thoughts again? Please, come on. We used to be a goddamn.
Come on.
We used to be a goddamn.
More like grandstand. It's fucking Larry David. Just laugh.
Larry David.
It's funny.
You're gonna cancel.
It's funny.
Are we gonna cancel Larry David for attacking?
Yeah, we're canceling Larry David.
You can't cancel Larry David.
Too bad. We did woke liberals.
The woke liberals cancel Larry David for attacking Elmo on the Today Show.
But, oh my god, it's too funny. I will never leave Twitter. It's too funny.
It's literally the best thing to happen all year so far.
That may be true. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say it because, not that there is any importance to the episode, but rest in peace, Carl Weathers.
Oh yes, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Passed
away. Rest in peace, real one.
Passed away the other day.
Pour one out for the guy.
Pour one out for the guy. We drink deep for the goat, Carl Weathers.
Yeah, the goat. He'll be missed.
You will be missed.
So, following up from last episode.
Oh yes.
When we recorded that, Megan Thee Stallion had dropped Hiss, which is now projected to hit number 1 in the Billboard charts.
Hell yes.
On the first week.
We pray.
Hell yeah. But Nicki had just been shading her by the time we had released the episode, or by the time we were recording.
And I think our exact words. I was literally just editing this like an hour ago, so I remember we said that we should, or like you can't just shade on Twitter. You have to come out with the hot diss track. I sincerely, I wish I could go back
I
and
take
just
back my words.
take back my words, because no, the fuck, I did not want
Because
this.
okay, and so Nicki dropped Bigfoot.
Big,
Very original. It says she has like 5 more fucking tracks.
oh my god.
We gotta go through this because it is unreal. This song is unreal.
It is it's not it's not right. It's not good.
And she dropped it with an a cappella version, so producers can put their own beat over it. Girl, just admit you're trying to get more fucking sales. It's not cute.
And then she put out tweets being like, "Yo, Ben, I listened to your song. Not bad."
It is funny that she says before I hit Carl and buy her catalog, when records have come out that shows that she is touring because she literally is in debt.
It's so funny.
This woman cannot buy shit.
She can't buy shit. What if these lines are so embarrassing? They got
She
you
throws
all
a lot of shade at her for her dead mother.
for your dead mother.
Talks about her Bigfoot, the foot that she was shot in.
Yeah.
By the way.
Which is just
Says she can cut Argylle King, which is like a lot of these. See, there's no such thing as too far in a diss track, but these are just lame.
It's
they're lame and petty and don't hit because they're just bad.
They're just
And then she talks.
Okay, wait, no. She admits it. But I'm a sweetie pie, PRTTY, but I am PETTY. So she admits that she's petty. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, she PRTTY. There's an E missing there.
Yeah, she's not. Yeah.
She's not a great lyricist.
She's not. I mean, look.
She calls her a whore.
Which is like, okay.
And then proceeds to basically call her a whore in 2 more lines, just in a different way, which is just below the belt. Like it's not even substantiated with anything. She says still ain't topped Red Ruby, which Red Ruby displeased so she is referring to, which was not a good track.
Yeah,
it was mid.
What does Nicki Minaj have against Megan Thee Stallion's flow? I don't understand. They got you all the Grammys, but your flow's still a no. What are you talking about? Megan's flow is amazing. God.
Yeah. And then Lupe Fiasco catches a stray.
What a fiasco, Lupe.
Which is incredibly funny.
Not on topic.
Incredibly off topic. Names like many mid-men. Yeah, so the beat is like so cheap. Yeah. The beat is so cheap. You can buy this beat for like $2.
The album art is like clearly made with like AI generated technology.
Yeah, definitely.
Not to say
no surprise from Nicki at this point.
Not to say the genius thing is shady. The blurb is shady. It says a response to Megan Thee Stallion's song "Hiss," released on January 26 and 2024, which allegedly contained a diss towards Nicki's convicted sex offender husband and convicted pedophile brother.
Okay, so there's a bar in here that's really fucking crazy that I had to look up. I was like, what is this? Why the fuck is you humping on a minor? And the genius annotation goes in on this. Minaj alleges that Megan committed statutory. Ironically, Minaj recorded this song in response to Megan's song "Hiss," which included lyrics she felt targeted her husband for being a registered sex offender. Minaj has a personal history of questionable conduct relating to minors.
Yeah.
And then just lists all of it, which is crazy. And then calls out that her brother is also a sex offender.
Yeah.
So that's the instrumental part of the track. Then she has a fucking like minute and a half outro. It says glass fragment, foot ass bitch, and talking about like who she's fucked like continuously. It says she knows that they have a very evil spirit, which is ironic. It says, I don't think you want the next installment of this song, which is correct.
Oh no, we don't want it. We don't want any. We don't want
We
this.
don't want it.
We don't want this one.
Apparently some person called Ken Barbie catches the stray, which is so funny. And then she talks about reindeer games. Like, it's so fucking corny. And she's talking in this, like, wicked witch-ass voice.
Yeah.
And she says, well, let's leave that for the second installment.
Oh my gosh.
Why wouldn't you just air out all the business? Why don't you air out all the business
Air out all
the first track?
Air out all the business. Drop a 10-minute long song if you got that many things, okay? A low-key, a 10-minute long diss track with, like, substantial bars, beat for beat, like, line for line. A 10-minute diss track full of awesome disses would go hard, but she doesn't have that many good disses.
And here's the thing. I think she's completely talking out of her ass.
Oh, yeah.
Because she has nothing to bring for the first track. What can she bring for the second track?
The same stuff, just said in a different way, frankly.
Said differently. More unsubstantiated claims.
More weird, like, insults and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not obsessed with the beef like Nicki is, so we're
still not obsessed, so we're gonna move
okay.
on.
The actual Taylor Swift news.
Oh, the actual Taylor Swift news.
Which is kind of related and kind of not. So Kansas City Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, which means Travis Kelce is playing in the Super Bowl. And like the day before, Taylor Swift has a concert in Japan. But like people broke down like because Japanese time is obviously a different time zone.
Yeah.
So she would literally have like way enough time to get there and like literally sleep and then go to the game.
It's true, but it was funny seeing people be like,
"Oh my god, it's so High School Musical."
It's literally High School Musical. Which is
guys, it's not High School Musical. These are two 30-year-old people.
It's a little bit High School Musical. High School Musical, the musical, the series, the Super Bowl.
My mom sent me a picture of them from Facebook and said she said something, and I was like, oh my god, they're like the whitest couple ever. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's so weird that you have two white heterosexual people, a singer-songwriter who has made a lot of country music, and literally a guy on the football team are boyfriend, girlfriend, in love, and Republicans are mad about it.
Conservative football fans hate these people.
Why? Is it because Taylor Swift is a lib? I think it's because Taylor Swift is a lib. I think that's the case.
It's like 0.5% of the airtime.
It's
and they go crazy and they're like, oh my god, they can't stop panning to her, which like they do pan to her, but like
it's
they do,
maybe,
but
maybe not more than like an average celebrity who goes to the game, but
yeah,
it is kind of in your mind when it's like so much attention is brought to it outside of the game. And also they have shots of Taylor Swift like walking into the stadium, a la the tunnels, and I think that's that might be a little much.
But I think it's like the Hannibal Lecter thing where like she is such a presence that they think it's more than it's actually.
Yeah.
Than they actually show her.
That's true. It's like yeah, for sure. It's like confirmation bias or whatever Hannibal Lecter, whatever you said.
This will be the first time that actually has Taylor Swift played the Super Bowl.
She has not. She has never played the Super Bowl.
I swear to God. Has she not?
I don't think so, because I think.
Oh my God! Wait. Christian McCaffrey, running back for the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey's mom boycotting Taylor Swift before Super Bowl. She's dead to us. That's funny.
Valid, actually. I respect it.
Valid.
I love her.
I respect you.
But we are boycotting a Taylor Swift song.
I like that she says she's boycotting her before the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, like the after the game, it's all on back. It's all back on. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So we're wrapping up. What's in your near future? What's for the next?
That's a great question. Just writing, doing that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My Oscar picks are coming up, so be on lookout for that. You can always check out my letterbox. Actually, it's on my Twitter. If you ever care to look.
Oh yeah, we link it. We put the ats in the description of every episode.
So if you ever want to check out. But yeah, I don't have too much on the horizon.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling, being more social than usual.
Oh, that's the one thing I'm trying to up the amount of socializing. Because I can just go like so long without like hardly talking to literally anyone, and it's like I just really got to make an effort for it. So that's what I got to be doing. I have a performance Thursday. So unprepared for it, but we ball. And
that's cool. Yeah,
gonna be watching the Grammys tomorrow night. Shout out.
Yeah. We'll have that bonus episode.
Bonus episode will already be out by the time.
It will be out.
I wanna get. So when I was a child, when I was in 11.
Also, if you haven't watched the bonus episode yet and you're watching this,
go back.
You should go back and watch the bonus episode.
Yeah, watch the bonus episode. It's gonna be a real good time. It'll
be chill. It'll be funny.
It'll be chill. Probably, hopefully, under 40 minutes. We'll
be ruthlessly mocking the Grammys.
We'll be ruthlessly mocking the Grammys. We'll try to keep ourselves to a reasonable run time for a DLC.
Yeah.
But when I was a child, I drew comics because I wanted to be
a young boy.
Because I wanted to be the odd ones out when I was a kid, because he was popular in like 2016.
Oh, that's so.
So I drew a bunch of comics. I kind of want to get back into it. I kind of want to start drawing again. Obviously, my art is on display every podcast episode. But
like I took 2 art classes last year, and then I didn't take any this year. I did take 2 music classes this year, though, and I didn't take any last year. So I doubled it.
Whatever.
But
what have you been learning?
I like to get back into drawing. I like drawing.
Yeah, drawing rules.
Drawing is just a fun way to release stress.
For sure.
I was talking in a group chat the other day. I was like 2021. I was obsessed with like actresses. I was like on Stan Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
In 2022, I watched a lot of TikTok because I was just very, very isolated, very depressed.
Oh yeah.
But 2023, I watched a lot of YouTube.
Uh-huh.
I got into YouTubers. 2024, I'm kind of getting into streamers a little bit. Honestly, I was never into streamers much, but I think like certain ones I like. Who'd I like? I like Maya Higa. She's cool.
Okay.
She's neat. She runs the animal sanctuary too. I think is very cool. Alfred, he's also a YouTuber, so I guess that doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Because that was also last year. Cutie Cinderella I've been watching a little bit recently. And Ludwig, I guess, by extension too.
Ludwig's good.
Ludwig makes some funny content. Let's say that.
When I was big into Twitch streams, I watched a lot of Guitar Hero.
I feel like that would be fun to watch.
Oh yeah, Sai makes great stuff.
Yeah, I just fuck around and have something new I like to watch every year.
For sure. I was trying to say that you should watch author interviews in 2025, but you seemed
Yeah, I was like, what is my 2025 obsession going to be? Because it's so unpredictable.
maybe podcasts, so we can learn about we can study the podcast ways for the Swifter podcast.
I already watch like 2 podcasts religiously.
Uh-huh.
One of them's Sad Boys with Jarvis Johnson, Jordan Adika.
Mm-hmm.
I follow their YouTube too. The other one, I actually was just talking about them, just single, but is Wine About It with My Higa Cutie Cinderella. Typically podcasts I watch because of people, not because
I'm very similar.
podcasts.
Yeah, I follow. We've said this before, I think. Or did we? Yeah, I think we talked about this in the first episode. But
I feel like we did.
We did.
It was either the first episode or the lost episode.
No, it was the first episode because I remember it vividly. I follow mainly Song versus Song, which is Todd in the Shadows' podcast with his host Alina Morgan, Dear Hank and John with the Vlogbrothers. And then I've also gotten back into Baseball is Dead with Jared, whatever his name is, plus a bunch of other like baseball influencers. Among them, Dallas Braden, a former pitcher for the Oakland A's, who threw one of the very rare perfect games in MLB history in a hangover on LSD. Weirdly enough,
guys, we like baseball to an unhealthy degree. We just never say it.
We never say it. When the season starts up, we're gonna give baseball updates.
We will give our baseball opinions. Trust. Hey, it might even start with spring training.
Oh yeah, we could do that. We could start right now. So the Pirates signed closer Aroldis Chapman.
Aroldis.
I hate. Okay, Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah. I'm like. Cool. They have not made a big signing in like forever, even though he is a little bit older, so it's not like a big signing.
But also, the Pirates are never beating the chokers allegation because Aroldis Chapman is one of the biggest chokers in the game.
Look, upside, he throws total heat. He could probably get a good trade for him at the deadline.
Okay, I get it. He can throw like a 105-mile-per-hour fastball, but also if it's straight down the middle of the strike zone to Jose Altuve, he's gonna fucking send it to the seats every single time.
Look, you trade. There's a trade-off. The past side, he was suspended for DV a while back, and I do not like that. So I hope he's gone sooner than later.
It's true. I mean, he has a good ERA. He's solid. He just is not clutch at all.
Yeah.
But
you seemed a little bit crushed when you were DMing me about the Astros signing Josh Hader, and I was like, he tweeted some racist shit. A few years ago?
Not a few years ago. He was 17 years old, and he tweeted some racist stuff. Which is not funny.
It was pretty racist, though.
It was very racist, I'll say.
It was very racist.
He doesn't have a track record of being a great guy. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt of being a 17-year-old from wherever. I don't know. Is he? I know he met his wife in Corpus Christi, but I don't think he's from there. Because I think he was signed to the Hooks. He's from Millersville, Maryland.
Chris from fucking Maryland.
He doesn't have a great track record of being a kind of a good guy. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on all the stuff from when he was 17 years old. Who cares? I don't actually fully expect any baseball player I follow to be fully unproblematic, especially the white ones.
Yeah. That's fair. I do think that, like, it's very vibes based for me. Like, before Trevor Bauer was controversial and a little bit erstwhile from the league, mm-hmm. I never had good vibes from him.
Yeah.
So I feel like my vibes checker is very proven.
That's fair. I think, didn't you vibe check Paula Diamond or whatever?
Yeah. So Paloma Diamond, the fucking TikTok joke that blew up and got on Twitter. And I was like, guys, this isn't funny. Like, this has never been funny.
Yeah, I'd
So, then he posted something that was like mocking Amber Heard, and I was like, I've never been so
vindicated.
I've never been so proven right.
Yeah.
One day after I tweeted about it, by the way, my timing was perfect. But also, the one of the quote retweets of the tweet about Paloma Diamond, the Amber Heard thing, was never trust a man wearing a wig to mock women. I was like, damn. They nailed it.
Yeah, for sure. It's on the head.
They should have left it at never trust men in general.
Never trust men. Don't trust me to do anything. I'll vouch for the fact that men can't be trusted. For sure.
But Lucas has the cosign. You can trust him.
Okay. You shouldn't trust me, but if I
can trust men, but trust Lucas.
If you can trust me. No, don't. But that's the baseball news at the moment.
Thank you for listening to the Contradiction podcast.
Thank you for thank you for listening to the Closer podcast.
Thank you for listening to the baseball cast.
This is a baseball podcast now. Fuck Taylor Swift.
Oh my god.
I kind of don't.
Anyway, be on the lookout. Next episode, we'll be reacting to Yonder Dove apology video with the newly minted sister podcast YouTuber apology bingo.
Yes, we might do this periodically, just for fun.
By the way, after the episode airs, there will be a community post that will have the image of the bingo if you want to do it yourself.
Sounds good.
And thank you for listening to the Anders podcast.
Thank you for listening for the Anders podcast. If you want to follow me on twitter.com, you can follow me at Lucas_copy_1.
If you want to follow me on Twitter.com, or formerly Twitter, now X.com.
It's actually also Twitter.com, fun fact.
The only social media is that you don't want to tell your parents to use.
That's not the only one. That's not the only one. You're being real disingenuous if you think that's the only one you don't want to tell your parents you use.
Alright, the only major one.
She does not remember the Amino app.
The Amino app is so dead. It's not even funny.
Shout out to all my friends who got groomed on the Amino app.
Okay, but people have been groomed on Discord. We're using Discord.
You also don't want to tell your parents about Discord.
That's true. I've lived this reality. But you can find me on Twitter at Fiona Appletree with what I. And I think that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
If you liked this, you can give it a like. You can tell us what you thought. You can maybe hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button, comment, share it to all your haters.
If the subscribe button's raising you up, you might still go for it.
I think if we say the subscribe button a couple more times, it'll glow. It'll like do the glowy thing. Have you heard of the glowy thing? It like glows.
Yeah. So if you see it glow and we say subscribe, then that's your clue to subscribe.
That's your clue to subscribe.
But that's gonna be it.
Okay.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Stopping in 3, 2.